Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue, and we're back with another interesting video. This actually just came up not too long ago. So apparently, there's this podcast, Sister Song, Women of Color and the Conscious. That's a long name. I don't know, but essentially, we're at a round table, and Clinton Powell. You guys have seen him probably in several movies, several black movies or whatnot. He comes out and he's talking about how much his life has changed being at the age that he is. I don't know everybody that's in this round table, but there's this one guy specifically that looks to be extremely younger than the rest. And things start to get a little crazy. It caught me off guard completely. It was fine, and then it escalated. But let's just go ahead and get right into it. As always, guys, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can see more content like this, and so we can have these type of discussions, because these situations are serious, and what matters is that we learn, because there's always an opportunity to learn, and we try to understand. Let's check it out.
I've learned is it's not your mother's fault, it's not your father's fault, it's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Mm-hmm. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate black women. I live with a psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. But in closing on this, because I don't want to get too deep, I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad. I'm fucking up. So I've never been monogamous, so I don't fucking know what it is.
What age did you become a monogamous?
Today. No, but let me just say what it is.
To know.
And we don't talk about this. We don't talk about dopamine being in a place.
If you just seen homie's face when he was right here, I think this is the point when he starts to get triggered. But let's keep going.
As a center of the brain, like we talked about oxytocin is the hormone. It's called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we're just talking in generalities. And that's why I think what you said about counseling, because a counselor is going to get inside of this from a real, not even white people perspective, just from a scientific perspective, unless science is not wrong and the brain is not made what it is. So when I hurt my girl, which I've done over and over, and I commend her for even being with me, and I said it in my podcast, and I'm gonna say this and stop. I called one of my partners who was brilliant. He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, the people that raised us and who treated the women outside the house nice, but then put the thumb on the grandmama and put the thumb on the girlfriend or whoever. They are all, it all comes from out of all of that. And I think that's what makes me excited that we're going to bring the women and the uncles and we need to bring them all in here. But go ahead, what are you going to say?
The one thing that I just want to talk about what Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, what our families did to us, all this, all that, but eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually it comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired, and, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know how to
Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by this.
It's all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Because I'm living it right the now.
As I said,
I
said 60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Don't overtalk me.
I'm going to overtalk you because you're talking out of line.
But you're not going to disrespect me.
You don't know what the fuck you talking
about. I am.
I do. Love it.
I do.
You don't know what the you talking about.
Oh, I do.
You can't.
I do. I do.
You don't know it, nigga.
I do. I'm good.
You don't know what the I'm living. You can't tell me what the I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but he's generalized. You can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what this is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loving all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we all so right now.
All right, y'all. That was a lot. I was not expecting that to happen, honestly, because this was an interesting conversation. What do I think? Of course, I'm pretty unbiased. I can look at things from both sides, and from both sides, they are both right. And it's okay. You can have both people be right about something that is wrong. You can have both people that have come to their conclusions, but in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So with the young dude, so with Clinton Powell, his whole thing is that when it comes to loving people, there's this constant, it's kind of like a passed down situation. And I've kind of experienced this myself. It's kind of a passed down situation where it's you only know what you're taught. You only know what you're taught. That's Clinton's stance. From the other guy's stance, I'm not sure what his name is, from the young bull's stance, his mindset is that you have to be able to look at your situation. Essentially, what he's saying is self-evaluation. Self-evaluate yourself. Self-evaluate yourself. I was about to say it again. Evaluate yourself so that you'll be able to figure out what you need to change. And I agree with that as well. Now, how can I agree with both? I come from, now granted, remember, I'm Haitian. My family hasn't experienced the Black American plight, the Black American issue that of dealing with slavery to this extent. The whole mindset of slavery and that wasn't put on me by no means. I don't even think it was put on my parents. I mean, mainly because Haiti became independent for such a long time prior to the Black American. So with that being said, it wasn't ingrained in me, that whole slavery mindset in which Clinton was talking about. All the issues. So what Clinton is pretty much saying is that all the issues that we have as a Black community stems from the 400 years of being a slave, or however long that the African Americans were slaves. That's what stands for that. And I can believe some of that. I can see some of that as to why it still sits on a lot of people so heavenly. But it also comes with how you grew up and how you were raised. If the person before you, your parents, taught you and informed you about the things that happened to your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and how it slightly happens to us or to them, then they're going to feel like it's happening to them as well. I didn't grow up with that, so that wasn't my mindset. What I did grow up with was this overlooming lustful desires type thing. And it's heavy, if you guys know. It's pretty heavy in the Haitian community with the Haitian male. I'm not sure why, but it's a thing. So until I was made aware that I could be different, I probably still would have been the same as my forefathers in that regard. Without a doubt. It took me evaluating myself, like the young bull said, it took me evaluating myself, my situation, my life, and deciding I'm not going to be like that. Not only that, it took me seeing that there's a different way to live and decide I would rather want to do that than to do what I'm doing, than to do what I see, what I've come to realize was normal, because I thought it was just normal when I was younger. But I mean, I didn't have Clearly, I didn't have the body type to be able to continue on. But, anyways, so it's just interesting. There's an argument at hand. And the thing is, I know homeboy, young bull, he's scarred and he's hurt. And based off of the situation that I'm seeing right here, I can reimagine the conversations that I had with my dad in regards to just certain things, to where at the end of the day, my dad just didn't know better. But that still doesn't mean that I wasn't still hurt, that the rest of my family wasn't still hurt. And I put blame on him for that. And I feel like this situation is literally that situation. So he probably had the same type of scenario happening with his pops and with his mom and stuff like that. So when Clint is talking the way that he is, saying that it took you this long to figure it out, the reason he's able to self-evaluate was because he was able to see different elsewhere and realize that this is not the way that he wants to live. This can't be the way that I have to treat black women and stuff like that. I have to cheat on them. I have to impregnate them and then leave them to take care of the kids by themselves. I have to, constantly ask them for food, ask them for money and all this, that, and the third. I had to beat on them whenever I get upset and stuff like that, and make them feel less in front of my kids type situation. And constantly cheating. Oh, I said cheat on them already. But that's what he's probably feeling. And so he feels for the women, the black women, because of the situations that men like him, like Clint, put them through. And he's upset because it took you till now to figure out what you're doing is not considered love. Whatever it is that he was doing, because clearly he's seen that whatever he was doing wasn't considered love. So it's a very interesting thing. The only thing that I have to say in regards to that was that there's a way to break through these type of chains, and that's really being exposed. Again, being exposed to something different. What is different? The word of God, the Bible, is different. You wanna live differently from your parents? Follow the word of God, because a lot of people feel like, and a lot of people think that that's just being cliche. And of course, it's always going to seem cliche, but I cannot tell you, if it wasn't because of God, if it wasn't because of me reflecting on life when I was younger and deciding I wasn't going to live like that, and then making it a goal, a mission to live differently than how my forefathers did. It was because of the word. Now, I'm gonna say I didn't need the word in order to do that. Yeah, I did. Because surprisingly enough, in my journey to trying to be different, I ended up still falling into the same patterns. There were some things that I didn't do, but then there were other things that I was doing way more, that was very similar, that I equally did not want to do, but I still ended up doing, and I didn't realize it. And it took me reading the word, understanding the word, seeing how in Ephesians, how I'm supposed to be treating my spouse, getting the guidance from other individuals. So again, that information that is given to me then allowed me at that point to know that I needed to do something differently than them. It's not just a matter of not doing what it is that they're doing, because at the end of the day, I'm still their seed and I'm still human. It takes something outside of this world to be filled in within me to change what's been passed down. You know what I'm saying? Of course, somebody's going to have something to say against, everything that I'm saying, which is fine, because everybody has their own experience. But at the end of the day, and anybody that is truly in the word and that truly wish to follow God and live a holy lifestyle will tell you that my life looks very different than the way that I've lived before. People that are close to me will tell you that I do not look like the same dude that I was before. There's a lot of things that I still am the same one with, but there's others where, yeah, bro, if it wasn't because of the faith, nah, there's plenty other things that I could be doing, plenty other things that I still fight with to fend off not doing. And I do so joyfully because that's not the lifestyle that I want to live. But it all comes from my pursuit and understanding the will of God and being filled with the Spirit, because that's the only thing that can keep me from living the lifestyle of my forefathers. The only thing. And it's protected me at this point, and it will continue to protect me as long as I remain and abide in it. And it's available for everybody else too, who's caught in this situation where you're hurt because of your parents and what your parents have done. Or if you just seem to be caught in stupid nonsense over and over and over again, and you need something to change, the change in the scriptures will change you. You just have to dive into it. Seek assistance from those that will give you the information on the scriptures specifically, not on what's going on in the world. The scriptures is our guidance, and reflecting on your life and where you're going and how you're going to get there, how the Lord's going to bless you to get there, y'all. That's very interesting, guys. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.